Yeah. So I really think that this is the best episode of Jujutsu Kaisen to date. Episode 4 of Season 3, which covers Maki's annihilation of the Zenin clan, was an absolute blast to watch. This is an episode I was excited to see as a manga reader, but it blew my expectations completely out of the water. Mappa's legitimately just unbelievable. Like, you got Bandai feeding their studios the tiniest morsels of a budget to get one or two decent fight scenes, and then the rest of the show is just a PowerPoint presentation. Not going to name any names here. And then you got Mappa over here, like, okay, this is a short arc at the beginning of this demanding season. Yeah, let's go ahead and do movie level quality and make the greatest episode of this series. And, the fight scenes are obviously the best part. You can say that's the case for the whole series, but this episode had so much more, from the cinematography to the soundtrack to the color scheme. It felt like I was watching a mini movie. And I feel like they actually kind of intended for this episode to be special because it was around 28 minutes or so instead of the usual 23. Now, the action in this episode is what everyone's talking about, and we'll get to that, but I think that some of the quieter moments in here really stood out as well. Namely, this scene with Maki and Mai's dreams or whatever, where she heals her and gets her back in the fight. Kind of reminded me of Evangelion right here. But anyway, long story short, in Jujutsu Sorcery, twins are essentially the same person, so they share the same curse energy and stuff. But Maki doesn't use curse energy, so the curse energy that Mai has is basically stopping her from reaching her full potential. So Mai decides to pull the plug and let herself go so that Maki can reach her full potential. Mai is a pretty trash character. Really, everyone from the Kyoto branch is, but this scene actually kind of made me feel a little emotional, especially right here when it was showing their younger selves and all that. But respect to Mai, she's still pretty trash, but seeing her set aside her differences with her sister here and admitting the futures with her was a clutch thing to do. She just had one request: destroy everything. And believe me, Maki does just that. The rest of the episode is basically just Maki going ham on the entire clan. This scene with all these level 1 crook looking guys is obviously the highlight, with insane choreography and animation. And by the way, this part in the manga, you want to see it? That's it. It's like 1 or 2 pages. This is all Mappa. Hats off to them for this creativity and bringing this scene to life and expanding upon it. I was just smiling the whole time I was watching this, and I kind of stopped to think. I was like, dang, I'm literally just watching people get brutally dismembered and having a great time, but it is what it is. So next up, Maki moves on to some of the big dogs, and this was pretty awesome as well. I love this part right here where this guy did the classic, yeah, that got him, just for the smoke to clear and see that no damage was done. Except this time Maki walks out carrying the dude's head and lets my man bleed out. He asks her, what happened to your humanity and your heart? And Maki just goes, that part must have died with Mai. Yeah, that's hard. Finally, we get to the fight with Naoya, who basically just runs around like Sonic the whole time. Maki just tanks a bunch of his attacks to learn the pattern and then catches him with an absolute knuckle sandwich here. It was so brutal they ran it back like 4 times on the replay. And they even threw in the Mortal Kombat Bone Crush cam. That definitely wasn't in the manga, so that was a really neat touch. He actually didn't die here. The mom ends up killing him, which I didn't really understand at first, but I guess she just kind of hated him, and that was like an opportunity for her to do it. And the girl with the broom shows up, also trash because, Kyoto. I don't know if she was supposed to show up and help or something, but she would have been completely screwed. No way she's contributing whatsoever in all this. She would have just been over there on the sideline like, yeah, Maki, you got this. I believe in you. And then just kind of stand in the corner and stay out of the mix. And that's about it. I'm not going to go over a whole lot more because A, I'm new to making YouTube videos and I'm not sure how much direct content I can straight up show and still get away with it. And B, I want you guys to fully experience this episode yourself if you haven't already. I promise this isn't going to be a JJK exclusive channel, but Season 3 has been too good so far for me not to talk about it. I do have some other videos about other anime in the works, so please stick around and subscribe to check those out soon. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments and if you agree that it's the best episode of the series so far. At the time of me recording this video, it's currently rated as the highest in the series on IMDb at a 9.8, just barely above the episode where Sukuna fights Maharaga. That one was a 9.7. I've seen some videos talking about people complaining about this episode for some reason. I'm not really sure what that's about, but people are always going to find a reason to complain about literally anything. But anyway, thanks for watching and hope to see you guys around. Hey, hello again guys, future me here. So real quick, I had to re-edit this video like 6 times because YouTube kept trying to ding me for copyright and it wouldn't even let me show it. I figured it out finally, but I apologize if it's kind of choppy. It should be much better going forward because I kind of figured it out now, but just wanted to put that out there. But thanks again for watching.